Mike Lindell's lawyers want his trial delayed 45 days after it is currently scheduled due to the burden of them being called out for using AI on a document that included fake citations. Let's just take a look at this. If you haven't seen what led up to this, I do have a video on it. Defendants Michael J. Lindell, we're going to skip all this, blah, 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 to continue the trial currently scheduled for June 2nd, 2025, pursuant to this, to a later date to ensure a fair trial and adequate preparation. This motion is necessitated by extraordinary and unforeseen circumstances, including the court's April 23, 2025 order to show cause. Yes, they are blaming the court, which has imposed significant burdens on defense counsel, prejudiced defendants' trial preparation, and raised concerns about potential jury bias. For the reasons set forth below, defendants respectfully request a continuance to safeguard their constitutional rights to due process, effective representation, and an impartial jury. Introduction. Oh boy. This high-profile defamation case has been marked by complex legal issues and significant public attention. During the final pretrial trial preparation conference, the court unexpectedly conducted a hearing regarding defendants' opposition to plaintiff's motion in limine, identifying errors in the filing later determined to be the result of an inadvertent draft submission. Yes, they blamed a draft submission for why there were AI-generated non-existent cases, and used counsel's answers as the basis for a show cause order. 2 days later, the court issued an order to show cause, accusing defense counsel of misconduct, including blind reliance on generative artificial intelligence and threatening the highest level of sanctions, including referral to their respective state bars for disciplinary proceedings. In that order, Attorney Ketcheroff believed that the court misconstrued his statements regarding unpreparedness for addressing a motion in a formal motions hearing versus preparedness for informal pretrial conference discussions. The show cause order is scathing. It is. It has triggered national media coverage. Now, I'm going to be honest. Technically, I guess you could say that, but it's not like mainstream coverage. As far as I'm aware, this never made mainstream. Yet, subjecting defense counsel to reputational harm, emotional distress, and significant distractions from trial preparation. You know, I would think this lawyer would be used to national attention when he made the news on the Zoom call not wearing pants. I thought he'd be used to it by now. Counsel has expended a majority of last week investigating the circumstances of the erroneous filing and responding to the order, diverting critical time from compliance with the trial preparation, now just 5 weeks before the date. That's your own problem. You caused that by submitting it. The public nature of the order also raises concerns about potential jury prejudice. I'm going to be honest, I don't think it does. I really don't think it does. I don't think they'll have a problem finding a jury that doesn't know about that small story. While the threat of sanctions has impaired counsel's ability to zealously represent defendants, these extraordinary circumstances combined with new pretrial obligations imposed post-conference necessitate a continuance to ensure a fair trial. Now, there's going to be more. There's a lot more here. I could keep reading. I'm doing this one quickly. But essentially, Mike Lindell's counsel, one way or another, submitted documents to the court, citing cases, claiming they said things they didn't say, saying they were from states where they weren't, and it just made up some cases. And if you read what the court has put out, it sounds like, to me, the judge basically was pulling teeth to get them to finally say they use generative AI. The judge had to specifically, from my understanding of the order, bring it up themselves to get that admission that that's what happened. How did this happen? How did all these mistakes happen? How did these cases appear out of thin air? And eventually they got to that. Remember, this is counsel for the man that is saying that all elections need to go to paper ballots. So it's very embarrassing. I will say this. It is very, very embarrassing that this happened. That's why people are covering it. It's extra embarrassing that it's Mike Lindell. With that being said, I don't think it's going to impact finding a jury. I personally don't see it impact finding a jury at all. If they can find juries for murder cases, they can find a jury who hasn't looked into this special little case, this defamation case, and don't know about the generative AI. They might not even know what generative AI means. It should be no problem. In fact, I would think it would be harder to find a jury not biased due to political reasons. And I would argue that finding a jury that doesn't know about this in the filing is not going to be an issue at all. I don't think they'll even probably have a juror possible that knows about it. It's so niche. You watching this, you are so deep in a rabbit hole of niche content right now. I don't think it's going to be an issue. Unless Mike Lindell does something to blow this up to be an even bigger national story. That's possible. He's got a media network. If he went on there and blew up about it, posted on Twitter and did interviews about it, sure, it could become a national story. And even then, I would say it's probably not going to be hard to find a jury that doesn't know about it. I've seen them find juries for a lot of worse cases than this. It's, for most people, it's only going to be known about by people that find it comical in a small niche, either people that follow court cases, and this is topical and interesting and niche, or they follow politics, and this is topical and niche and just a small audience. Like, you have to follow politics pretty hard to know about a Mike Lindell defamation case in 2025. Like, that's even an old news story, right? And this whole thing about, well, it's causing them issues now. It's causing his defense issues because they have to work on it. I don't think they should be given 45 more days of a delay because they screwed up. I don't know if it's standard you'd let them do that, but they're like, oh, we have to put all our effort into that. Yeah, but it's also a self-created problem, right? Like, the person who caused this issue, as much as they want to say because it was a judge, public order, it was the defense counsel who had it submitted, whoever had it submitted, and whoever didn't double check before the submission, and whoever didn't catch it, because they complained later, I believe it's in this document, about how long it was from submission until now when it got caught. It still got submitted, right? It's not the judge's fault that you screwed it up when they looked over it. But just wanted to give a quick update. Still doing a lot of gaming stuff. I don't have a lot of time, but this one, I have a tab open that I periodically check, and I found it humorous.